This is NFL Talking Points. Welcome everyone in to another episode of NFL Talking Points, the show where I try to give you as many stats and data and whatever else that you can use in your everyday NFL conversations to make you sound like you know what you're talking about. This week is week 3 coming up. We've just had Thursday night football. I'm recording this Saturday the 20th. I want to make this a little bit faster of a podcast for you guys, just so you can listen to it really quick Sunday morning before the games start, just so you can have an idea of what's going on. First of all, we'll want to start with Thursday night football. The Dolphins traveled to Buffalo to face the Bills. The score ended up being closer than I expected it to. I think closer than most people did, at 31-21. The main thing that people got out of this game was near the end of the game in the fourth quarter, with a few minutes left, Tua Tagovailoa, the quarterback for the Dolphins, threw an interception, and it pretty much sealed the game near the red zone. Honestly, a lot of people are saying, blaming this mostly on Tua. It's not just only on Tua. There are so many other factors when it comes to this. You have to think, first of all, there was a guy into his lap almost immediately. He had no protection on the play. And there was a person coming open, but they wouldn't have been open for another, 2 or 3 seconds, and he did not have that time. And there wasn't any other concept to get the person who picked it off, the Mike linebacker. There wasn't any route to get him off of that throw. And anyway, it was a poor play design, poor blocking up front. No, Tua should not be throwing an interception there. You've got to see that and just take the sack. But a lot of the discourse has just been Tua was, lost the game for him, and this is such a team game. There's so much more to it. All right, moving on to our week 3 preview though. I'd like to start in the morning slate. We've got the Packers heading to Cleveland to face the Cleveland Browns. The Packers are favored by 8.5 points, so they are expected to win by somewhere between 8 and 9 points. As I go throughout this episode today, you'll hear stuff like favored by 8.5. Of course, you can't get a half of a point. That just is where the betting line is, so that if you want to bet on the game, you've got to say, I think they're going to get less. The Packers are going to win by less than 8 or more than 8. You can also just pick the Browns to win. I wouldn't do that this week. If you did pick the Browns to win, the money line is plus 450 for the Browns. So essentially that means that if you bet $1, you'll get $4.50 back if the Browns win. If you bet for the Packers to win, you have to bet $4.50 in order to win $1. Usually it's in hundreds. That's how Vegas does it. I don't have hundreds to be betting on stuff. So if I do bet, I bet in ones. Okay, moving on. So the Browns and Packers. Browns, they have the best overall PFF grade on defense, which was surprising to me, but not that surprising. Myles Garrett has been phenomenal. This is also the third best defense as far as yards go in the Packers versus the 8th worst offense in yards in the Browns. So, and that's why we see the spread the way it is. That's why the Packers are favored by so much, even at an away game. The only way this comes close is if Myles Garrett wreaks havoc. Next up, we have the Colts and Titans. The Colts are traveling to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Titans are 31st in the NFL in yards per carry with interior runs. And this is the defense. Sorry. The Titans defense are allowing the second most yards per carry, which is 5. So on average, a running back is getting 5 yards for every time they carry the ball with interior runs. And that's a bad matchup for Jonathan Taylor, who has been wrecking it this season. Watch for Jonathan Taylor and play him in fantasy. Do not bench Jonathan Taylor this week. Moving on to the next game, we've got the Minnesota Vikings traveling to Cincinnati to face the Bengals. This is Carson Wentz and Jake Browning, 2 backup quarterbacks. I don't think Jake Browning is that much of a come down from Joe Burrow, and I think Carson Wentz at this point is a slight upgrade to J.J. McCarthy. That said, Jamar Chase already has over 200 yards with his 2 weeks of play, and the Vikings secondary has allowed 250 or more passing yards per game so far this year. So take the over on Jamar Chase yards. Take the over on Jake Browning completion Jake Browning yards. Passing yards, that's it. Also, the Vikings offensive line is super beat up. If Christian Darrisaw can't go, I am definitely picking the Bengals. And somehow, and I'm sorry, I misled. The Bengals are traveling to Minneapolis. They are traveling to the Vikings. The Vikings are at home. So that's it. The Vikings are favored by 3.5. I am picking the Bengals to cover. I'm actually picking the Bengals to win this one. When I say I pick a team to cover, that means that I am picking a team. If you pick the team to cover who is projected to lose, you're saying that they are going to get closer than what is projected. So right now the Vikings are projected to beat the Bengals by 3.5. So if I say I think the Bengals will cover, I think that the Bengals will be closer than 3.5 points to winning the game, or they will outright win. One of the two. That's what I'm going for is Bengals to cover. I'm guessing the Bengals win. I'm picking the Bengals to win. Bad offensive line, bad secondary. It's just a bad combination for the Vikings, and I don't think Carson Wentz can get it done. Next, we've got the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to the New England Patriots. The Steelers are 1.5-point road favorites, which is kind of surprising to me. Both defenses are top 10 in rush yards, so I think this is going to come down to who can break a run and who can be explosive in the passing game. I can see Aaron Rodgers playing really well, but I like the way this Patriots team is playing. In addition to that, the Steelers defense are allowing 3.4 points per drive, which is 29th in the NFL. I honestly just trust this Patriots D, especially their defensive line, more than the Steelers defense at this point, which is kind of crazy considering the Steelers have TJ Watt, but this one's a close one. This one's a really close one. I'm probably going to pick the Patriots here. Next, we have the Rams versus the Eagles. Both of these teams are 2-0. Rams are going up to Philadelphia to face the Eagles. The Eagles are 3.5-point favorites at home. Typically, a home team will get 3 extra points to be able on the spread. So essentially, the betting odds are that these teams are almost dead even, because the Eagles are 3.5-point favorites at home. That just means that they're 0.5 favorites if they were playing at a neutral site. The two things to watch: which defensive line wins this week, and can the Eagles match the explosive Rams offense, or can they at the very least stop the explosive Rams offense? Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams have been going off. If the Eagles can find a way to stop those two, the Eagles can win this game. But they've got to stop those two from getting open, and they've got to get to Matthew Stafford. I don't think the Eagles' offense is going to win them this game. They haven't won them the game so far this year. And this Rams defensive line is looking really good. So if the Eagles win, it'll be on defense. I'm picking the Rams on this game though, for the upset. Next, we've got the Buccaneers hosting the Jets. The Jets are traveling down to Florida to face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are 6.5-point favorites at home. This seems high to me. I am absolutely taking the Jets to cover, which means that they might not win, but it's going to be a closer game than 6.5 points. I really like this Jets team playing with Tyrod Taylor. Every start that he's had with this Jets team, he's played really well. All of the Bucs games have come on on a touchdown drive in the last minute to barely win the game. And I mean, Baker Mayfield doesn't have any turnovers. Mike Evans is playing really well. Can Sauce Gardner contain Mike Evans? And then at that point, you have Emeka Egbuka. You've got a few other options that Baker still has at his disposal. The key to me is, can Tyrod Taylor play as well as I think he can? I think he will. I'm picking the Jets to win this, but I wouldn't bet on it. I would bet the Jets to cover though. It's going to be too close of a game. Moving on, we've got the Commanders hosting the Las Vegas Raiders. The Commanders have won 4 of the last 5 games they've played against the Raiders, most recently in December of 2021. 4 of the 5 have gone under the point total, and with Jaden Daniels out, between the two teams, the expected amount of points scored is 44.5. I would bet the under on that. This is going to be a grimy game without the Commanders starting quarterback and Jaden Daniels playing. I lean towards the Raiders on this, but you've got to give Ashton Genty the ball, especially in the red zone. Let's get him warmed up. Let's get him moving. Let's see what we got in this rookie. Take a little bit less off of Geno and see what we can get with that. I'm probably picking the Raiders. Next, we've got the Falcons and the Panthers. The Panthers are hosting. Not that really matters. The Panthers ended last week's game with 3 straight touchdown drives, which, I mean, that's good. Can that continue against this Falcons defense? I don't think so. Falcons are favored by 5 points on the road, and the Panthers lost their right guard in Robert Hunt, their center in Austin Corbett, and right now they have an undrafted free agent in Chandler Zavala coming in at guard, and this Falcons pass rush is going to get home. This one, I'm taking the Falcons running away with this. So next, we've got the Jaguars hosting the Texans. This one's tough. The Texans are 0-2. They need a win. Jaguars are 1-1, coming off of a brutal loss to the Bengals. Can this Texans defense hold? I think it's a very good defense. Can the Texans offense do enough to win them this game? In the end, I think that's really the question we have to ask. The Jaguars' one win that they have is against the Panthers, so it's not like this is a powerhouse offense. Jacksonville's a 1.5-point favorite at home, essentially meaning people really do expect that they think the Texans are a better team. Gosh, I have a hard time picking this game. I really like this Texans defense. And I'm really shaky about this Texans offense. The Texans are such a mystery to me. Because of that, I think I am going to pick. I'm going to pick the Texans. The Texans defense is just more consistent, and if the defense can be consistent, offenses have their ups and downs. Hopefully, it was just 2 down weeks, and we're starting to pull it together with C.J. Stroud. I'm going to pick the Texans, but I don't love it. So next up, we've got the Broncos heading to LA to face the Chargers. The Chargers are 3-point favorites at home, so these teams are pretty much evenly matched according to Vegas, which was kind of shocking to me. The Chargers have looked like a phenomenal team, and the Broncos struggled to play the Titans in week 1 and lost to the Colts in week 2. And the Colts, I think they're playing really well, but it feels like this should be a blowout from the Chargers. That said, Bo Nix, when he plays in the division against other division teams, has been awesome. He steps into another gear when he plays the division. So what do you take into that? I don't know. The one thing that I have is that Bo Nix was fifth in turnover worthy plays through 2 weeks, and the Chargers defense I just don't think is going to let that slide. If Bo Nix can keep it clean, this is going to be a crazy game. I'm going to lean on the Chargers. I just trust Justin Herbert more, and I trust the running game more right now with the Chargers. I trust the defense more. Like I said, I think it's going to be close, but I'm picking the Chargers, especially at home. Next up, you've got the Saints heading to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. The Saints offense has been improving week to week. The Seahawks defense is super underrated. They've got a really good defense there in Seattle. Seattle is 7.5-point favorites. I think that sounds about right. I might pick the Saints to cover, though. I can't pick the Saints to win. The Saints have to find a way to stop Jackson Smith and Jigba and Kenneth Walker at the same time. And I don't think that's going to be something that the Saints can do at this point. So I am picking the Seahawks, but I think that the offense is going to surprise us a little bit in this game, and we'll get the Saints to cover that 7.5. Next, we've got the Cowboys traveling to Chicago to take on the Bears. The Cowboys defense is 30th in points per game allowed. The Bears defense is 28th in yards per game allowed and 32nd in opponent passer rating. These are two terrible defenses. And the over-under for this game, the amount of points that both teams combined are expected to score is 50.5. That's like 27 to 23, 24. I can see both of these teams scoring in the 30s. It's a high over-under. I'm taking the over. and everything is shaping up to that this is going to be an over, and we're going to get like a 13 to 17 game out of nowhere. But yeah, I'm taking the over. Because I'm taking the over, I am taking the Cowboys. The Bears are favored by 1.5 points. They are at home. Essentially, that means that Vegas thinks Cowboys are the better team. I do too. I think turnovers will be the decider in this game, and I trust Dak to not turn the ball over more than I trust Caleb Williams. And I put CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens over Rome Odunze and, the variety of other weapons that the Bears have. I like Brian Schottenheimer, the way that he's playing right now, or the way that he's coaching right now. Give me the Cowboys. Next up, Cardinals traveling to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. The Cardinals won 47-24 earlier this year, but not this season. It was the last game of the season last year in early January. The Cardinals spanked the 49ers, and people will say, oh, well, the 49ers were pretty injured when they played. They're injured now. It looks like Brock Purdy's not going to play. George Kittle's out. There's a lot of injuries on this 49ers team. And the 49ers are only favored by 1.5 at home. These are two 2-0 teams who are both trying to fight the Rams for the division at this point. The way that the 49ers win, I think, is if Brock Purdy plays this game, because they need the deep ball potential, especially, Ricky Pearsall can get open on those deep balls, opens up the space underneath. If Mac Jones is playing, I am picking the Cardinals. If Brock Purdy is playing, I'm picking the 49ers. They say it's a game-time decision. It looks like it's going to be Mac Jones. If that's the case, give me the Cardinals. Last game of Sunday, the Sunday Night Football game. This is the first Sunday Night Football game since 2005 to feature two 0-2 teams. I don't think we were expecting the Chiefs and Giants to be 0-2. Oh, the Giants we could probably guess. Chiefs being 0-2, that's not what we were expecting. This is in New York. The Giants are at home, and the Chiefs are 6.5 point favorites. That seems rich to me. They're essentially saying the Chiefs should be winning by 9.5 on a neutral field. That feels a little bit fugazi to me. I expect the Giants to cover. This is going to be a close game, a mid-scoring game. The Chiefs have the number 1 ranked red zone defense. So if the Giants' way to win this game is to win on big plays, the Chiefs' way to win this game is to essentially just get Mahomes to carry you through the game and not let the deep plays happen. Stop them, make them work for it. Don't let Malik Neighbors get past you, and I think the Chiefs win this game. But like I said, but one team looks incredibly explosive, and the other one has no explosion at all. And the one with no explosion is 6.5 point favorites on the road. Give me the Giants to cover. Give me the Chiefs to win. Last, but definitely not least, in my opinion, the game of the week. Monday Night Football, Lions heading to Baltimore to face the Ravens. Game of the week. Two 1-1 teams. They both had tough losses in week 1, bounced back against terrible division opponents in week 2, and this game is huge. It's an NFC AFC game, so there's not too much as far as playoff seeding or odds go with this game. You don't want to walk away 1-2, of course. One of these teams is going to walk away 2-1. One of them is going to walk away 1-2. As long as they both play well, I don't think either one is going to walk away. Whoever loses isn't going to walk away saying, man, we got some deep problems here. Like, you're playing... these are two top 5 teams. These are two phenomenal teams playing against each other. The Ravens are at home. They're 4.5 point favorites. I expect the Ravens to win, mostly because of injuries. It seems like the Lions have some pretty bad injury luck coming into this game. They've got a lot of players on IR. One of the worst affected again this year. And the Ravens have been pretty injury-free so far. So, in addition to the injuries, I also am just going to take Lamar Jackson's upside. I'm going to pick Lamar Jackson over Jared Goff any day of the week. Yeah, I'm picking the Ravens. And maybe the Lions can cover that line of 4.5. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. But I've got to pick the Ravens on this. And that will just about wrap it up for me. Thank you so much for tuning in to Week 3, and I will see you next week to talk more NFL and give you more talking points.